I stared at the paper in my trembling hands, the big red F glaring back like a slap I wasn't ready for. The classroom felt like it was closing in, every whisper and sideways glance sharp against my skin. Why? My voice cracked before I could stop it. What did I do wrong? Mr. Randall didn't even look up from his desk. His smirk was like a knife twisting. You're just not cut out for this kind of work, Maya. Not one word about the hours I stayed up, the endless nights testing and retesting my environmental sensor. Just those 4 words, cold, dismissive, final. I could feel eyes on me, but no one said a thing. Silence louder than any shout. Not cut out for this, I repeated, my throat tight. Sir, I worked harder than anyone. You saw my data, my design. He leaned back, folding his arms like I was a nuisance. Look, it's not personal. You just don't have the knack. No! I bit out. It is personal. You don't want to see me succeed. The classroom shifted. I caught a flicker of something from the back, a sneer, a smirk. I wasn't sure. Jasmine, my best friend, stared down at her notebook, her fingers trembling. I wanted her to say something, anything, but the silence stayed thick like a wall. Mr. Randall's eyes glinted, full of something ugly I recognized, contempt. You're being dramatic. A laugh bubbled up from someone behind me. Quiet, but sharp. I clenched my fists. So, failing me is fair because I'm black. The words escaped before I could think. The room grew even quieter. Don't twist my words, he snapped. Grades are earned. My heart hammered so loud I thought it might give me away. Then explain it. Explain why every part of this project met the criteria except the grade. His smirk widened. You're just not ready. The word ready, like I was some unfinished experiment he was eager to discard. I wanted to scream that I'd spent nights alone, pouring sweat and tears into this, hoping to prove I belonged here. My phone buzzed in my pocket. Mom, hey baby. Her voice softened when I answered, like she could feel the storm in me. What's wrong? I swallowed hard, trying to keep it together. I got an F, Mr. Randall said. I'm not cut out for science. There was a long pause. Then, Maya, you know how proud I am. This doesn't define you. You keep pushing. I wanted to believe her, but the sting in my chest burned hotter. He looked right through me like I was invisible. You're not. You're stronger than he knows. I ended the call and looked around again. Their faces were still like statues carved from judgment. My voice was barely a whisper. This isn't about the grade. Mr. Randall packed his things, already done with me. See you in class. I stayed frozen, the weight of their silence pressing down. I wasn't just failing a class. I was failing the system, and I was left to pick up the pieces alone. The moment I stepped into the hallway, I could feel it, the whispers sliding through the air like poison. She only got the grade because of favoritism. She should know her place. I caught Jasmine by the lockers, her eyes darting nervously. Hey, I said, voice low, did you hear what they're saying? She bit her lip, hesitating. Maya, I'm sorry. I don't know what to say. What? You're just going to pretend it's not happening? My chest tightened. We need to do something. Jasmine glanced around, lowering her voice. If you push back too hard, you'll make it worse. People don't want trouble. I shook my head. This isn't about trouble. It's about what's right. She sighed, eyes glassy. I'm scared. They can turn on you so fast. Then what? We just keep quiet. Let them tear me apart. The bell rang, scattering the crowd, but the weight of their silent judgment stuck to me. Later, near the cafeteria, I overheard Mr. Clark, the teacher's aide, laughing with a group. His voice cut through the chatter. Well, if she's so smart, maybe NASA can hire her, but not in this school. My fists clenched. I stepped forward, voice shaking but fierce. Do you even hear yourself? That's not a joke. He froze, eyes wide. I was just, no, you weren't. You're part of the problem. Jasmine came up beside me, her face pale. Maybe we should just walk away. No. I met Mr. Clark's gaze. I'm tired of walking away. He looked like he wanted to say something else but swallowed it. As they walked off, I whispered to Jasmine, this is only the beginning. Her hand found mine, a quiet solidarity amid the storm. I spent every spare minute in the lab, fingers raw from soldering, mind racing with calculations. My environmental sensor was almost ready, the thing that would prove I belonged here the day of the science fair arrived. And my heart hammered as I set up. Then I heard it, Mr. Randall's voice, dripping with mockery. She's just a token, this'll be a joke. I froze. Another teacher laughed quietly beside him. Token, I muttered under my breath. My hands clenched. When Mr. Randall walked over, his smirk was sharper than ever. Looks good, he said, eyes never meeting mine. But she won't get far. I met his gaze, steady now. I'm not here for your approval. The principal hovered nearby, arms crossed. His eyes flicked over the project, then back to me, cool and indifferent. Impressive setup, he said without enthusiasm. Good luck, thanks, I replied, swallowing the bitterness. I told myself I'm doing this for me, not for them. As people gathered around, asking questions, their curiosity sparked something fierce inside me. Mr. Randall's voice cut through the crowd again, low enough for just me. Don't get your hopes up, I smiled. Not for him, but for myself. The rumors hit me like a wave. She's only here because of the pity card. Did you see that email? Mr. Randall's plan to fail her. They're all in on it. I overheard the whispers everywhere. Hallways, cafeteria, even the bathroom stalls. My phone vibrated. It was Mum. Hey, I said, voice tight. Maya. She breathed out. I saw the email. That monster doesn't deserve to teach. I swallowed my anger. Voice steady. I've been called to the principal's office. Could file a complaint. Don't let them bury this. I ended the call and pushed open the office door. Principal Harris was sitting behind his desk, hands steepled. Maya, he said smoothly, we all have biases. The important thing is, moving past them. I felt my jaw tighten. Moving past, protecting him because it's easier than seeking justice. He smiled thinly. Let's keep this professional. Professional, I snapped. How professional is it to let a teacher sabotage a student because of her skin color? He looked away. We have to think about the school's reputation. Not my problem. It's about truth. I left the room burning with rage but with a flicker of hope. Maybe now the fight was starting. The room smelled of polished wood and stale coffee. My heart hammered, but I forced myself to sit tall. This wasn't just about me anymore. The defense lawyer smirked, flipping through my project files. Isn't it possible your project was flawed? Mistakes happen. I met his gaze. Steady. You saw the data. You know it wasn't flawed. He narrowed his eyes. Or maybe you're just desperate to prove something. Desperate. No. Determined. My voice didn't waver. Then the teacher's lawyer leaned forward. Can we trust your credibility? You admit to confrontations and outbursts. How can we be sure this isn't personal? I swallowed the sting but held firm. My credibility isn't up for debate. The facts are. Jasmine took the stand. Next, her voice shook, but the words were clear. I overheard Mr. Randall calling Maya a token and saying this would be a joke. The judge's eyes flicked between us, the tension almost tangible. I thought, this is bigger than me now. It's about truth. When I spoke again, it wasn't just for me. This isn't just about a grade. It's about being seen, being heard. The silence that followed was electric. The hallway was nearly empty when I saw him, Mr. Randall. His smirk was thinner, less sure than before. You think you're better than me now. His voice dripped with venom. You'll never make it. I met his eyes, steady and calm. I'm already miles ahead of you in character and truth. He said nothing, just stared, his usual arrogance dissolving into silence. I felt a strange weight lift off my chest as I walked away. Later that night, I sat on my bed, the quiet broken only by my tears, but they weren't just tears of pain, they were tears of strength, a silent promise. I'd never let this break me. My phone buzzed while I was in class, an unknown number. I hesitated, heart racing. Hello, I whispered. Maya, this is Dr. Reynolds from NASA. We've reviewed your project, and we want to talk internship. The words hit me like a thunderclap. NASA, are you serious? Absolutely, your work shows real promise. I sank into my chair, trembling. I called Mum right after. Mum, NASA wants me. They want me. ISTAMMERED. Her voice cracked, tears flooding through the line. That's my girl you showed them. Back at school, I caught the principal near the office. His eyes widened when I said, NASA called about my project. He avoided my gaze. Mr. Randall passed by, pretending not to notice me. I whispered loud enough for him to hear, your prejudice won't hold me back. Silence hung heavy, but inside I was soaring. The auditorium buzzed with chatter, but I felt a calm settle over me. When the principal called my name, I stood and walked to the podium, every eye on me. I took a deep breath. I'm Maya. My voice was steady, but my heart thundered. For months I faced things no student should ever endure. I looked out at the sea of faces, some curious, some hostile. Mr. Randall failed me on purpose. Not because of my work, but because of my skin. A hush fell. I swallowed the sting of those memories. You never saw me as human, but here I am, more than you imagined. Applause erupted, some hesitant, some fierce. Jasmine caught my eye, her whisper like a lifeline. You changed everything. The weight I carried lifted in that moment. I wasn't just a victim anymore. I was a voice. I'm sitting on my bed, the room quiet except for the soft hum of the city outside my window. My journals open on my lap. I trace the edges of the page, then start speaking softly to myself. This isn't just my victory, I whisper. It's for everyone who's been silenced, ignored, told they don't belong. The sting of those months still lingers. The doubts, the betrayal, they don't disappear overnight. But beneath the pain, I feel something fiercer. Pride, a steady fire that won't be snuffed out. My phone buzzes. I glance down, a message from a younger student. I heard your story. How did you keep going? I smile, fingers trembling as I type back. You keep your head up, speak your truth. They can't silence what's real. I close my journal gently. The fight isn't over, but I'm ready.